Hey review family, keep it high, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morse, the review guy, review music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm going to be covering the 10th anniversary edition of the Nails record entitled Unsilent Death. Nails, one of the most popular power violence bands that dominated the 2010s with some of the most blistering and throttling and exhilarating releases. This is just going to be a little bit of a short review, and in advance, I'm not even going to be scoring this record because this can somewhat double over as a classic album review as well as the additions made to it. Obviously, Nails has had a very tumultuous lineup issue thing happening recently, and that has put a dampening on anything that could be done in the future, so I don't necessarily think we're going to be getting some brand spanking new Nails material for a while. But for the 10th anniversary of their fairly overlooked debut release, Unsilent Death, Nails has seen fit to drop this revised version. This version does have the original 10 tracks from the original record, but instead of stopping around the 13, almost 14-minute mark with the track Depths, it goes on for an additional 5 tracks and reaches to 22 minutes of length, which is really cool because more Nails is never a bad thing. Once again, you have that Kurt Ballou production where it is very dense and very bassy, and this record is not necessarily overlooked in the sense that most people that are fans of Nails as well as Powerviolence fans know it, but comparatively speaking with a record such as You Will Never Be One of Us, I think in the grand scheme of things, Unsilent Death has sort of been swept under the rug, and I do hope that this revised anniversary edition really showcases what they were able to do. Later on, they made their riffs a lot more chunky, and they allowed their style to sound a lot more well fleshed out in the sense of technicality, not just feeling like uncontrolled chaos. But at this point in Nails' career, they felt unrestrained. They felt like just a beast that was just meandering and stomping through forests, taking down massive trees with it. Think like the Siren Head, the creepypasta. It's something along those lines where they really had an energy that was unlike anything they would later do as they revised their sound and sort of worked out the finer details and sort of shoe-shined their sound. This was Nails at their most blistering, in my opinion, at their most sort of basic, sort of meat and potatoes, not reinventing the wheel, not doing anything to breach boundaries. But at the time where there were a lot of good grindcore releases, there weren't necessarily a lot of constant supplies of power violence releases that stood out amongst the pack. You could find some good D-beat, you could find some good grindcore, but one of those bands to come around that has that original power violence feel just brought to the modern era that, say, a band like Siege back in their day were really boasting in the underground was fantastic. And Nails encapsulated everything that was harsh, everything that was rough, everything that was untextured and just in your face and blunt, sort of the punk ethos being interlaced with grindcore music. It's impossible to really turn away from the fact they were making waves for a reason. And obviously, consistently, their material has been amazing. Their material has been, dare I say, flawless as you can possibly get with a power violence release nowadays. Unsilent Death is a record that I really implore you guys to go check out if you ever missed it. And now is as good a time as any, considering that this revised edition has a lot more material on it, a longer runtime, and can give you a feel of what Nails was sounding like in their early days. They're still the same band, but there was just something spicy and a certain level of pizzazz that this record possessed that Nails has never really had since. Sort of the youthful feel, the raw, primitive feel where they didn't necessarily know the entire direction they were wanting to go in, scatterbrained and all over the place, but in the good way. What I'm getting at is if you missed out on this record at the time, or if you have never given your chance the opportunity to hear this record, do yourself a favor and check it out. It is one of the highest of its caliber when it released, and it still stands as one of the greatest modern power violence records that exist. But what are your thoughts of Unsilent Death, both the anniversary edition and the original? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morse, the review guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.